Okay, so we just had a job finish up. So let's go over to the laser. Let's put this guy down here. Crooked. There we go. Alright. Well, let me just take this one out first. I'm trying to see exactly how I want to do it. Okay, so we got this one done. Now I need to go and clean it and do all that, but we'll save that part for the next one. Right now I want to show you, let me turn off the air assist. Get that buzzing sound down, see if that helps the audio a little bit. So let's take a new one. Inside these is a little sticker, so I usually just take that out. Hello camera, I'm over here. Recenter. Isn't technology great? There we go. No face detected. Cool. We'll do it this way. Alright, so we got our empty bottle. Now, here's what I do, because there's no real front or back. So how do you know where the front is, right? What I like to do, when these lids close, they close the same spot every time, so this will always be the front. So I'll take a little piece of tape, and there you'll see the logo. So I'll stick a little piece of tape right there. That one's not quite center. There we go, close enough. You don't gotta be exact. So I put a little piece of tape there. That tells me this is the front. So when I center it on the rotary, we'll center that as the front. So now I go ahead and take that off. And you'll notice when you put it back on, no matter where you screw it on, it goes right back to where your tape is. Just a little trick you might find useful. Oh, monitor went down. There we go. Alright, let me flip you guys around here. Whoa. Okay, so we'll step back a little bit just for those that might be curious. This is my little Husky workbench here, and there's my laser and laptop sitting on top of my server. Don't worry about that. And there's a big old 40-inch monitor that I use. So let's set you guys down right about here. That should be good. Let me put the little grippers on. See if that's gonna stay. Hey, look, it stays. Cool. Let's turn you that way a little bit. So I've got a... Oh, that didn't work. There we go. Oh, you're gonna stay? Maybe? Alright, so I've got a jig set up, right? And I'll go over that another day, but this is from the Clack Shack's jig system. Rotary sits inside, so my rotary never moves. Actually, let's put you guys on the front bar. This might be better. Let's see, yeah, this might work. Zoom in a little bit over there. Up, oh, not that way. Go that way. Alright, so we'll see how this works. So anyway, we're gonna take the big ass water bottle, stick it in the rotary. You want to keep firm pressure on it, and you always want to check right here in between your legs and make sure there's no daylight or anything. Keep it flush against it. Tighten her up, give her a spin. Tighten her up, give her a spin. Tighten her up. Now I'll usually just spin and look through. What I'm doing, I'm checking right in here in these feet, making sure she's flush on the edge, and she's good. So there we go. Now over here, we're looking for that piece of tape. So you see our piece of tape is right there. So we'll line that up. Move this over. We'll notice that our laser beam, let's take you guys off of here. You see that our laser beam is right there on the tape, right? So one thing you might notice on my rails here is that I have a bunch of black marks. Just another little trick that you guys can do. So what I do is I take my little steel rule, hold it right here, and then I slide my laser head over and I put it on whatever line I am. I've pre-measured where I want things to be. So right here would be for a 10 millimeter space between the top of the water bottle and then go up 10 millimeters. So I know right there is where I want it. The next line would be 20. So for this particular job, I'm doing 20 millimeters off the top. So right there. That's how I know every single water bottle I do in this batch is the logo is gonna start at 20 millimeters off of the top. So when they all look at them all together, all of their images are gonna be in the exact same location. And that's important. I think it is anyway. Because you want your customers to be happy. And you don't want to have them all done, different way. I've got 12 of these to do, so I don't want all 12 looking different. So doing it this way, they're all the same. Again, real quick, I didn't talk about it, but there's 100 different ways to do this stuff, guys. This is the way I do it. You don't have to do it. I'm just showing you how I do it. So there you go. If you do it a different way and it works, fantastic. That's amazing. Keep doing it. So one thing I've noticed on this jig system too, when I cut it, and I got to cut me a new one, there's a little bit of play here. You notice my bottle will move. After trial and error, I know that it's square if I push it all the way to the right, push it up, bring the back piece down. So anytime you make a jig, if there's any play, we're talking a millimeter difference, you're going to have to account for that. Otherwise, you're going to end up with straight lines that aren't straight, and that's a bad day. So let's open up our next job. Let's tape you out. I think I can do this part one-handed. I don't know if that's going to show, but we're going to do our next job. Let's do this guy. And we need to rotate that 90 degrees. Why are you not cooperating, little camera? Alright. Now this is another lesson maybe we can do another day. How I set this all up to work in conjunction with my template down there, my jig. But short version, I have the image here in one set of tool rectangles, and then the name and the number in another. But anyway, this works. So we're going to frame it just for shits and giggles. It's always good to frame your job, make sure it looks like you want it to look. And that looks right. So there we go. Now we're just going to run it. I'm going to turn my air back on, so it might get a little loud. But I use air assist on everything. So it's really not that loud. Well, we'll see. But so there you go. That's how I set up my tumblers on my jigs. And now we're just going to let her go. And I don't know that I'm going to leave the laser running on the video because it takes 35 minutes to do one of these because they're so damn big. So maybe I'll start the video up when it's done rather than do a time lapse because it's It's a lot of time to wait. So, yeah. Let's see, turn that around. Alright, so when it's done, I'll come back and then I'll take it off of there and we'll go over the cleaning method and how we clean it all up. Alright, see you in 35 minutes. Okay, boys and girls, that job is done. There it is, nice and dirty. So now we gotta go clean it. So I'll meet you in the high quality, super duper cleaning environment. Be right back. Okay, we're back. So it's really bright because there's lights right there. But here we are in our high quality, super duper cleaning environment, also known as the bathroom. We have some LA Totally Awesome, a degreaser, and a toothbrush. I learned this by watching a video from Laser Engraving 911. That guy. He used a toothbrush. I think it was him. If not, go watch his videos anyway, because he's a cool dude, and he has been doing this a long time. He's got a lot of good information. I think it was him. So, if not, one of the other guys does it. But anyway, I used to always use the old magic erasers, right? But they don't last forever. Toothbrushes last a long time. So, normally I'll get the water going and sprayer. So we're gonna leave the water off for now because it's noisy. Let's flip you guys over. Alright. Put you down here. And bring you down into the sink. Alright. So I don't know how good this will come out or whatever, but you notice it's got all the soot and crap all over it. So normally I'll just spray it. Let her sit there a second. And give her a scrubbing. I used to get real intricate and do like this, but you know what? Just do this. That's all you need to do. Now I still will use the magic eraser sometimes, because it doesn't always get it all off. Now if you do the engraving properly, it's going to get you 98 to 99% of the way there. If you don't have your settings dialed in, or your focus correct, or anything like that, then you're going to get a lot of residual, a lot of leftover powder coating. So you don't want that. Normally it's not a big a deal, but these damn 32-ounce tumblers are huge. Alright, let's dry it off and we'll do a little inspection. See how we did. I don't know how well this is gonna come out, but if we give it a little close look, right? And what I'm looking for is any residual. There's some at the top. There's a little bit up here. A little bit up here. Really nothing else. To the naked eye holding it back, they're gonna say, hey, cool, that looks great. But I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, and when I'm making something for people, I want to make sure it's correct. So one of the problems with these big ass bottles, right? You might have it perfectly lined up, but it might be tilted ever so slightly. The RA2 Pro is not always completely stable. So as you're turning, it might lose focus. We're talking like a 1/4 of a millimeter or anything like that can throw it off a little bit. So what I've noticed with me, sometimes I'll get a little bit of residual stuff down here, and here will be perfect, and then it might be a little bit up here, so it just might be losing focus ever so slightly. But again, to the naked eye, you're not going to see it. But I do. So when I do, I'll take my magic eraser. Just give it a quick little dab, little squirt on there. Then I'll go find those troubled areas, like up here at top, and just give it a little bit of a scrub. You don't have to put a whole lot of pressure on it, because these magic erasers do a pretty good job. Give it a wipe as I'm looking. I see nothing there. That's good. A little bit here still. Give it a little bit of... I'll go this way, then I'll go vertically, just to make sure we get good coverage. That looks better. Down here in the letters, give it a quick little bit. That's better. Now those of you that you see these in the posts all the time, you'll see people and they'll have lines going up and down and up and down. That's because they don't remove all the material, so their settings are not right. Now if you notice the lines going this way, horizontal, normally that's the brushed material of the metal, so there's nothing you can do about that. That's just the stainless steel underneath it. But if you have vertical lines, then something's wrong with your laser or your settings or something like that. So let's give that a wash. Now when I wash it, I just use a little Dawn dish soap on a little sponge, nothing special. Just wash it. And get a little more soap. Now I have used a lot of things. I've used alcohol, minerals, spirits, all the shit that you read about on the forums and the Facebook groups. And I always come back to the LA Awesome and a toothbrush. It really does work the best. You don't need all that other stuff. If you're doing the engraving properly, it's going to come right off. Alright, she is beautiful. So let's get up here in the light. I don't know how good this is going to be, but now when I inspect it with my naked eye, I don't see anything. There's a little bit of goo from my towel on there still, but I'll clean that off. But as far as leftover residual things from the laser, I see none. So there we go. And we turn around. Let's go this way. And we look. No. Oh, light. Light. This is stupid. Anyway, it's done. That's all you gotta do. Little LA Awesome and toothbrush. Comes right off. And it looks beautiful. Alright, well that's it for this project. I have 3 more to do. And then I'm done. And then we're on to bigger, better things. Hello. So, alright. Take it easy, guys. Okay, we're back here in the laser room, and I forgot to say one thing about these. So here's one other thing I like to do. Let's put that down there. So we got our product ready for the customer, right? What I do, I'll put the little sticker back in that came with it, and I drop in a business card. So just a little tip. Might be a good thing for you to do. So we got the sticker, we got the business card. We put the lid back on it. And that's the wrong lid. Now we have a finished product. So now it's done. Put your business card in everything you do. Tip of the day. See ya.